You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead. The agenda is stand approved as presented. Let's go ahead and open up the meeting. And Kelly,
Henry County Commission. Oh, let me start over here. Let me get this camera. There we go. Henry County Commission, Henry County, Missouri, Thursday, May 1st, 2025, 10th day of the April term.
Henry County, Missouri, Thursday, May 1st, 2025, 10th day of the April term.
There we go. All right, the Henry County Commission met pursuant to adjournment at the courthouse in Clinton, Missouri. Those members present were Jim Stone, Presiding Commissioner, Mark Larson, North District Commissioner, Jake Bradley, South District Commissioner, Kelly Merritt, Henry County Clerk. 9 a.m. Commissioner Stone brought the meeting to order. The agenda was approved as presented. The minutes from the Tuesday, April 29th, 2025 meeting were read. Commissioner Bradley made a motion to approve the minutes. Commissioner Larson seconded the motion. Motion carried. Expenditures for the following are approved to be paid: employee benefits, road and bridge, buildings and grounds, law enforcement, GR, jury pay, general county government, inmate security fund, juvenile office, assessor, university extension. Chuck Thomas addressed the commission regarding paying taxes and not seeing the benefit. He asked a few questions. Who owns the building and the property at the old emergency management building? Who owns the deed? Whose name is on it? How many tax dollars were used to refurbish? What is the value on the property? Who paid the $50,000? Who is the organization? He shared he had looked it up and it's Project Homeless. He shared that to be faith-based, they have to follow extreme regulations. He then explained his understanding of how to file a nonprofit. He stated he cannot find any information on the nonprofit and that he would oppose any tax. Denise Welsh talked to the commission regarding the homeless issue. She asked for transparency regarding current issues in Henry County. She expressed that there was a lot going on and she feels like the general public can't keep up with what is going on with the county and city. She shared that she feels the location is inappropriate. She would like to know the money that has been spent on that building. She just asked that the county or the community be involved. Jessica Voles, small business employee of business here on the square, shared her concerns with bringing a homeless shelter downtown. Her main concern are how it will affect the businesses on the square. She expressed that several businesses downtown do not want the shelter down here. Commissioner Larson shared that he believes there is never a good place to put a homeless shelter. He shared that he did not know that Clinton had a homeless problem until this, as he doesn't live in Clinton, and that this project is more than just a homeless shelter. He explained that the project is for giving the people who want to get off the streets an opportunity to do so, and that the homeless population that don't want to change won't. He went on to explain that they are elected officials, elected by the people, and elected to make decisions for the people. He shared that the county can't be micromanaged, that every time a decision needs to be made, we can't hold a public hearing or meeting. He shared that he agreed with this because it was probably the best route to go with the building. In his belief, it was a win-win. The county gets out of having to maintain and keep up with the building, and the project could do some good in this community. Commissioner Bradley shared that he has spoke with the sheriff's office and that they have met with the city of Clinton as well to address the issues downtown. Commissioner Stone shared that he is understanding to the people who are concerned, as he also owns a business downtown. He explained that they are doing their due diligence as a commission. Commissioner Larson shared he does not want county money going to the project. As far as the grants go, that is what they are for. Chuck shared that it is not a matter of like or dislike, it's a matter of using the grants for what they are to be used for. Commissioner Bradley stated that Chuck may want to speak with Darren Huey. Commissioner Larson said if the government gets involved, he doesn't believe it'll work. Discussion continued on the project. Commissioner Larson shared that if we can help, we should. Chuck asked if Commissioner Larson believed in responsibility. Commissioner Larson said no doubt he did. He expects excellence out of anything he does. Chuck shared that he is going to continue to oppose it. Mark Hardin, Henry County Emergency Management Director, shared that the email address we set up as a county for reporting is being used. He stated that he has heard from 4 townships about storm damage. He addressed the questions regarding the equipment at the old emergency management office. All of that equipment is still down there with the exception of some computers that had to be returned to the state. Both generators that were in question are down at the storage and they get tested monthly. Mark also shared that they are working with Casinger to get a storm shelter added to their hazmat mitigation plan. Once that is set up, they can apply for grants to get storm shelters. Dennis Bowers, Road and Bridge Supervisor, attended the meeting. Dennis shared that they are still working on storm damage in the county, especially in the northwestern part of the county. Dennis shared he is going to suggest to one township that they use CART funds to replace culverts. He has had some of them marked bad for several years. Dennis shared that he is going to talk to the city of Clinton regarding a bad culvert inside city limits as he got a call about it. But after research found out it was the city's culvert. He wants to put out for a bid a truckload of channel. Commissioners agreed that Dennis needed to bid it out. Commissioner Larson and Dennis discussed Northwest 1100 Road in Tebow Township. Dennis stated that he was contacted by an individual regarding the state of the road. Dennis shared with the township that he had gotten a complaint. Jake asked Dennis about Southwest 1101 and Southwest 900 roads and Bear Creek Deepwater and Wagner Special Road District. There was a DNR inspection that was supposed to be done. Dennis explained what was being done. The new road and bridge employees were discussed. At 10:18 a.m., Commissioner Larson made a motion to go into closed session, RSMO 610-021-3, to discuss employee-related issues. Commissioner Bradley seconded the motion. Motion carried. Larson, yes. Bradley, yes. Stone, yes. At 10:31 a.m., Commissioner Larson made a motion to go in closed session.
Me.
To end closed session, Commissioner Bradley seconded the motion. Motion carried with a roll call vote. Larson, yes. Bradley, yes. Stone, yes. At 10:31 a.m., Commissioner Bradley made a motion to go into closed session via RSMO 610-021-1 to discuss legal matters. Commissioner Larson seconded the motion. Motion carried with a roll call vote. Bradley, yes. Larson, yes. Stone, yes. At 10:48 a.m., Commissioner Larson made a motion to end closed session. Commissioner Bradley seconded the motion. Motion carried with a roll call vote. Larson, yes. Bradley, yes. Stone, yes. Assessor Scott Largent and Collector Treasurer Rick Watson attended the meeting to discuss Senate Bill 190. Commissioner Bradley asked about the cost of the software and company who has the software. Because the assessor and collector both use Ulrich and not all software is compatible, the county would have to go with the same company to update the software, or it could be way more expensive and problematic to get something that would work with what we have. Assessor Largent explained that he believes the county needs to move forward with adopting an ordinance to freeze senior taxes per SB 190. Scott suggested that the county put the same regulations in the ordinance as the senior property tax credit, house and 5 acres, and then the decision needs to be made on what buildings the freeze would affect. Commissioner Larson asked if it would be simpler to include anything on those 5 acres. Scott explained that it is not that simple, as someone could be running their business out of their garage and that wouldn't qualify for the homestead and other things that make it more difficult. Scott expects 2,000 to 3,000 people to sign up for the freeze. Commissioner Larson questioned if people petitioned to have the ordinance passed, would that take the liability off the county? There was a lot of discussion regarding the application process. Commissioner Bradley made a motion to adjourn the meeting at 11:50 a.m. Commissioner Larson seconded the motion. Motion carried with a roll call vote. Bradley, yes. Stone, yes. Larson, yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second that. That being said, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
I'm gonna zip you the closed session minutes real quick.
Huh? You're going what?
Zip you the closed session minutes for you
Okay.
guys to look at.
All right.
Forgot we had closed session minutes. There you go.
Okay.
So it looks like you're missing both sides completely.
Yeah, I'm not zooming my camera out yet. I'm gonna
There's
leave it
about a
open.
10-second delay.
Thank you. I'm just glad it's in there.
Do you get a chance to read?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the minute closed.
I'll second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Close minutes down. Okay.
We got a big old stack of bills today. I have some mail for you that was in the box downstairs. I like you, Jim.
Is it working?
Something worked like it was supposed to. Your stapler.
Huh?
Your
Stapler
stapler.
full?
No, just a
Oh.
stapler. You had a little one up there.
Huh? Where's my little one?
Here, it's hiding.
Find it?
I'll print that report off here in just a minute
Huh?
too. I'll print that report.
Hey. Got the check in the wrong place. Hmm? Only?
Mark, do you want a copy of that printed off as well, that report? That-
No,
just-
no.
I just need that one page, the conclusions. That's the main one I want to say.
This one is- It's
Yeah.
only 17
All right.
pages, so we're
Okay.
gonna print one, at least one hard copy of the whole thing.
Okay. Okay. That run capacitor on the jail was a pricey little thing. The run capacitor on the jail, right?
Here's a copy of the closed session minutes.
Okay.
This is the collector's report for the end of March and the recorders, and here is a
Another one.
court contract that you were missing.
So I'm got.
Yeah, those two.
Mhm. Did you print me off on page that one?
The whole thing,
Whole thing? Okay. I'll get some on that right
it would
Be just
best
easy.
for us to have a hard copy to put in the file.
Oh, yeah,
anyway,
we
so
need that.
You can make a copy of it too, so you want
Yeah.
it when you.
Yeah, I cut it. Oh, no.
Oops, I did check all that stuff in. Hold on. That's what happens when you've not had enough coffee in the morning and you're trying to stamp checks.
No, what?
This is yours, it was laying up here, I don't know how it got shuffled in my papers.
Just- It's going to. It's not the one. Okay. Okay, senior will.
The sheriff's the first on the
Yep,
agenda,
we
so.
better
might
just
as
go
well
ahead and get-
Move on.
Okay, Sheriff, we're
Sweet.
ready.
Save the best for last. We have a few things this morning. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah. There we go.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Report, March.
So we're a tad bit behind, but in this one, you'll see the March and April report.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have May on time this time, but at least April's on time. So we have those reports in the very back of that. Both of our canine handlers are here today. So we would like to talk about a canine day. And then finally, we have a finalized contract with the village of Brandington. So out of all of our city contracts, that's the last one on the list.
Okay.
So a little bit about our March and April back in March, our call volume doubled. And you'll see that for April as well, but our traffic stops are, especially in March, 332, the prior month was in the hundreds. So our productivity has doubled, somewhat tripled, along with our reports. Arrests are up, but you'll see with March, April, and going into May, a lot of our arrests we're getting 24-hour holds on, and we're getting the warrants within the 24 hours, and the bonds are they're appropriate. So they're either no bonds or they're high cash, and the goal is just to get them in our system. We get the reports up in an appropriate time, and the system is flowing as it should. But as we've shared, our jail population is steady and up because of that, which is absolutely fine. So. A little bit about March, just to go back a little bit, we started our, in the Moments That Matter, our SRO program over in Windsor. Next month, or this month, they'll be out of school, so we'll probably bring our SROs up next month to kind of visit and just give an overview of the program here in that Davis. One of them did a little write-up over the week, and it's very nice. The stuff that they learn, the impact they make on the kids, it's pretty powerful stuff. So. Still to this day, our death investigations are high. We had a couple of them again yesterday. It's just constant. And Rob can talk a little bit about that, but we attended a, you want to talk about that?
Suicide awareness.
Suicide awareness, thank you, yes.
Yeah, one of the things that we noticed is going back from January up through the first part, or from the first part of this year to the present, our number of suicides from residents here locally was about triple of what it's been in years past. It really spoke to our community. Pastor Anthony with Life Ministries reached out to the sheriff's office and to the Truman Area CIT Council about having an evening service on a Wednesday, just to make the community more aware of what's going on, resources that are available, how to reach out to those resources. Of course, 988 is now a nationwide movement, kind of the same as 911. We hope at some point we get nationwide, we get to the point that people recognize 988 as a number synonymous with being a crisis line you can call. Not necessarily, there's this misconception that 988 is for suicidal folks, and that's not the case. It's for folks that are experiencing specifically a crisis incident, crisis event. Anxiety, and then you just need somebody to talk to. Now, if somebody picks up the phone and calls 911, normally that 911 operator will send that call to law enforcement or medical folks, and sometimes they just need somebody to talk to, somebody who is trained on the other end of the phone that can talk to somebody and give them resources. So it won't necessarily elicit a law enforcement response or a medical response because there's trained operators on the end of the 988 call whenever they call in to be able to help those folks and visit with them. Our Truman Area CIT Council meets on a monthly basis. This is something that we've talked about as well, about just more community awareness, being able to make everybody aware that those resources are available. But you know, there's something that's going on for folks in our community that are just reaching you know, a level where they feel the necessity to take their own life. So we're definitely discussing it community wide. And discussing different avenues that we can follow, how to reach out to those folks, to let them know that there's answers out there, there's people that's willing to help them. there's a stigma that if you reach out, that there's going to be a label that's going to be put on you. And I think we've got to get past that statewide and nationwide, that's not necessarily the case. People hit, anxiety levels can reach certain degrees for whatever reason. And there's resources out there that can help you to cope and deal with those. So with that being said, we're continuing to watch, but we're continuing to reach out to the community and discuss that within certain groups to try to bring more awareness up and expand those resources so that we can bring those numbers back down.
Good.
Perfect. So in law enforcement, those are one of those topics that I think for years you just try to stray away from, don't talk about it. Nobody wants to hear about suicide, you just don't talk about it. We don't feel that way, we're talking about it and we're moving forward with it, so it's very important. Donut with a Deputy, we absolutely love these. We had one in Deepwater in March. The City Hall actually put this on. Well, we all put it on, but they funded all of it. So the coffee, the donuts, the mayor, and the City Hall were fantastic down there. I think the day before this, we actually signed the Blue Shield with the City of Deepwater too, so it was really cool. A lot of citizens came out, some kids played in the car. It's really neat. We also heard some positives and negatives. We love those too. So a lot of our cities face the same issues, and it's a way for the cities to share that with us while we're there. Deputy Salters received an award. So this is really cool for the City of Windsor. They put on an award ceremony, the fire department did, and they recognized several of their members, Lieutenant Worth and Salters and Assistant Chief Bowers and Firefighter Huff and Eggers. Very powerful and touching, but they saved the life of the 3-year-old, and pretty touching ordeal. So it was one of those things that nobody thought twice about it when they went to the scene, but pretty powerful stuff. This next week, I think, this month anyway, is Law Enforcement Down Memorial Week. But Mr. Ryan Morton is into Watchmark 6 2018, so we felt it was necessary to go ahead and share that again. And it's always nice to hear the community's outpour still continuously of law enforcement in Henry and Clinton PDs. So it's very nice to go back and reminisce, and it's always nice to see and share what the citizens still see and hear and share with us. So definitely miss the guy. And a little bit about our operations. Yes, I brought you one. That's my bad.
Some operations, some trainings. Also wellness instructions. One of our team members went to focus on physical wellness strategies. We sent a couple guys to CIT training at the base at Whiteman. Leadership and supervision training. Several team members completed instructions through the Missouri Sheriff Association. Handle with care. Multiple deputies participated in training to support trauma and inform response to youth, ensuring we approach sensitive situations. Community engagement. Attend board meetings in Windsor, Calhoun, Newark, Monroe, and Deepwater, along with the Henry County 911 board meeting, Missouri Rural Major Case Squad, Davis R12 board meeting. Developing a new website and mobile app to improve communications and information sharing. Some of the municipal reports, City of Windsor, we had a total of 592 contacts, 70 total reports, 9 arrests, 70 traffic stops that were 21 issued citations. Deepwater was 48 contacts with 7 stops, 9 reports, and 1 arrest. Montrose was 26 total contacts with 5 stops, 4 reports, and 2 arrests. City of Urick had 60 contacts with 11 stops, 4 reports, 4 citations issued, and 1 arrest. Calhoun had 26 contacts with 5 traffic stops, 4 reports, and 2 arrests.
Perfect. Our numbers have gone up drastically from the first month, second month, and then third, and you'll see it in the fourth. But well, we're getting pretty proactive. We just had a pursuit over the weekend too, so it's starting to pay off. Did you hear about that? Yeah. We got them, so we'll talk about that too. But, a little bit about our traffic enforcement. Again, our MoDOT grants, they're going pretty well. Mr. Hills.
Yep. We still haven't heard back at this point. We've reapplied for monies again for overtime enforcement within our school zones, and also to help on travel holidays, as well as over the summer period where we start to see the significant increase of lake traffic coming down here, particularly on our weekends, but we also see that certain times during the week as well. So those numbers, we also started doing quarterly reports, so you can kind of see how those numbers, we total those numbers or where those come from. So throughout the month of March, we had a total of 98 traffic stops. There were 57 hours of specialized enforcement that was conducted. 105 warnings were issued for various offenses or violations that were encountered by deputies. 10 citations were issued and 3 arrests were made, and all of this was at zero cost to the county. This was where MoDOT money was spent, and they do a 100% reimbursement. One of the things that we've also asked for is we've expanded our grant for the upcoming year, at least asking for them to fund 50% of some new radar units. So that way we can start updating or upgrading radar units that are starting to become obsolete. There's better technology that's out there that can help us with traffic enforcement, and we're asking for MoDOT, since we've had a partnership with them for about 15 years with these traffic grants, and they've been gracious with giving us money. They've expanded our funding over past years. We're asking for them to also fund us a portion of radars to be able to expand and use during these enforcement efforts as well.
Perfect. Over to the corrections. Jackie is tied up on some admin stuff at the office, but for March we had a lot going on again. Our ADP was 96. It fluctuates daily, but that's the average. You can see our partnerships and revenue, pretty consistent, Benton, Platte, and St. Clair. A little bit on the staffing side, Deputy Hinkle transferred over to the road patrol. He is doing fantastic. Officer Hinkle was promoted to corporal. He was kind of his day shift supervisor and was doing really well at that. And Mr. Quillen joined our team. He has some prior jailing experience, and he's doing fantastic. Our live scan machine was down. We were fingerprint individual a couple of months ago, and she scratched the machine. So that obviously that was a big deal. Our CCWs were down. Anytime somebody was arrested, they couldn't get fingerprinted, and then the judge couldn't issue fingerprints to be done either. So what that means is about 2 months worth of the judge now issuing fingerprint orders, and they all have to come back to the office to get fingerprinted. So, but it's up and good. We had a grant on that as well. So we have a brand new up-to-date fingerprint machine. So and those things last quite a while. We had our Turnkey Corrections is our inmate technology vendor. They came out and updated our systems, and now we have a 1-to-1 tablet ratio, which is a big deal for inmates. It's no different than, it's a tool. So you can lose that just as a privilege like anything else, but it also offers them training and learning and other things while they're in there as well. So on the employee side, we have been sending a lot of employees to training. We're very proud of it. We're really trying to improve the morale, obviously, but in the tune of that is really giving our employees love. So We had over 170 hours of training through the MSA and post-certified training. So the good thing about MSA is we have an annual subscription with them anyway. So a lot of the trainings are free. We just obviously backfill their slots for the day and they go off to training. Several of those were supervisors trainings. So now our philosophy is when you get promoted to a supervisor's position, we actually send you to supervisor trainings. We're really overdoing it on training and it's fantastic, so. A little bit about those trainings, the leadership, the GEL Academy, so there's a 48-hour GEL Academy now, so instead of just hiring somebody and figure it out, we have an FTO process and a GEL Academy training. And then additional 80 hours coming up for quarter 2 and 3 already in the books, so. Looking ahead, we're doing some changes within the office. We're getting Lieutenant Kublis here a little bit of a bigger office, and we have restructured our evidence. So we spent 3 months on evidence. Yep. We're still in the mix of evidence, but really good things going on there. And then the DMH remains a stagnant challenge. So, Lieutenant Kublis.
Okay.
So in the month of March, the investigative unit with it was assigned with 14 total active cases throughout the month of March. Through that, our detectives completed 7 subpoenas, 1 search warrant that furthered the ongoing of those investigations, and did approximately 50 follow-ups for those investigations also for the 2 of them that is there. The case types that you see there is theft investigations, crimes against people, theft and stealing, fraud, and financial crimes. Then on the backside of the evidence, off of that, I am actively working on organizing everything with the evidence side of things, especially the old jail. That will be completely removed by the end of this week. All I have over there left is just firearms.
Okay.
So that is, we have to document those pretty well, which I did. So those will be moved and that will be completely done and gone. So everything will be back over at the office. Evidence is right now one of the top priorities that I am looking into. So we have a fluid system of it going from a deputy to the pre-evidence to myself and placing it. So if for some reason something happens to me, the next person can come in and see it and they know what's where and where it's at. So the unit overflow and outlook, though we are small, obviously 2 detectives and myself, we are small, but we maintain a high caseload for this county. So further down the road, we're obviously looking to expand, but at the portion of it, I can't give thanks enough for the 2 that I do have that are completely working their butts off. They are completely awesome in that. So with that, when I say expand, we're looking at the capabilities to expand more into the narcotics side of things, which, lo and behold, we need it. Narcotics here are one of the top things that go into the other reports, this theft and stealing, financial crimes. So once we can get a good moving step towards that, we should see a lot of productivity coming out of my office when it comes to that, especially on the patrol side too.
Absolutely. We have a lot of things to talk about. We can talk for hours on all of these. One thing about the evidence, it's an understatement, but we had Cass County come over and start this thing off a couple months ago, and they put in several hundred hours. They had the first week 3 employees, and then the second week they had 7 employees come over. So they went through every piece of evidence. They touched every piece of evidence. We categorized it. We recategorized it. Thanks to Kelly and Rick, we were able to get some more shelving. We had to redo our internal evidence room for more space. There's a lot that goes into this, but it's a very important piece for obvious reasons. So. It's a big undertaking. He has a couple more weeks left in it. So there's many hours just in redoing. It hasn't been touched for years. So.
Mhm.
A little bit about court security. Everything is going great. We have been overwhelmed with the amount of visitors. We just didn't realize that many people visited here. So I say overwhelmed. We've handled it absolutely great, but it's just numbers that we didn't expect. But it's been flawless. We have a system down now, especially void IR days for trials. The line doesn't extend outside anymore. We have 2 to 3 employees down there, and we get them in very appropriately. Obviously, our jury trials have gone up on numbers, and in that, our visitors to the courthouse goes up. So the one day, last 2 weeks ago, we had over 400 people in one day visit here. If you ever go up there, even felony docket day, there's people, the whole courtroom was full, and it went out into the lobby and then downstairs for overflow. So our building is very, very busy with a lot of ebb and flows. So that kind of just gives you like the schedule. Sergeant Richardson keeps these. He's kept them for years, but it's just it's amazing how many people give and take, and then the backflow of our system. 188 scheduled arraignments, or scheduled hearings, 29 arraignments, and then by video it was 128. So that is very nice. Those are 128 people we don't have to bring here. They video from our sheriff's office to here. And then 9 arrests throughout the day. So a little bit about April. We have a lot of course, we have a lot more community events. Easter, we had a lot of staff on Easter Day, but we went to a lot of events, and it was pretty fun. So, but you can see our call volumes, our reports. Our report numbers are pretty staggering. Sergeant Logan was looking into that. You want to share a little bit about how our reports are rolling?
Yeah, so back in 21, I think we did a little over 1,000 reports since I've been here. That was the highest number we've had. We're on track about a month ahead of beating that number. So in June, we're at 100, I think, less than we were there. I mean, in June of 21, we had that many that we have now. So we're well ahead of beating over 1,000, 1,100 reports this year if we stay on track with what we are. And summer's just now coming, so, more reports are going to happen in the summertime than the beginning of the year.
I think that says a lot. A lot of people are calling back in again. We have that conversation all the time. If you see something, say something. And we do see that. People are calling in. We're getting there. We've had just this month multiple burglaries in progress, and we caught them. So those are some of those that it's not a book and release anymore. You're coming to our facility, and if we have anything to do with it, you're going to stay in our facility. You're not going to get out and go do it again. So a little bit about the moments that matter. Some people playing some April Fool's joke. It was kind of nice, but the one day I walk in the office and I'm really looking forward to a donut, and it's a veggie tray. So kudos on her. It was funny at the time. She did bring us 2 dozen donuts the next day. She felt bad. Had donuts with the deputy over in Urick at K7. That was a great time. She's a long-standing member over there, and hate to. As we're talking about that, they just had a fire over there this morning, so I'm sure she'll be shut down for a little while, but yeah, they're over there right now as we speak. So had a resource fair over at Pediatric Place. That was pretty cool. The Pediatrics Place was kind of thinking about us on this event, so this was a way for us and our deputies to speak, talk, and interact with that population, and it was really cool for them to see us, talk to us, to playing with our gear. And it was a way for us to talk to them and communicate with them. Just one of those things that we always talk about in law enforcement, but having that extra little care doesn't hurt any. In the future, I think this month actually, we're getting trained on
Project Lifesaver.
Project Lifesaver. So we'll share that with you once we go live with it, but it's for just this. We've had several up in Johnson that we didn't make it in time, but this idea is if a child goes lost, we have a receiver, and we can go in that area, and the receiver will take us to them, long story short.
Really?
So we'll bring that up here and share it. It's really cool. The health center's putting that on, and they got a grant through Truman Lake Foundation for that. So we're excited to partner with them on that, and we'll push that out here, by the end of the month. So probably next month we can share that with you. And one last, a little bit about our operations again for April.
April, we had 456 total contacts in the contract area, 14 arrests, 97 traffic stops, 9 citations, 51 reports. In the rural area, we had 825 contacts, 13 arrests, 157 traffic stops, 34 citations, and 70 reports. Me and Sheriff were looking at numbers, and Windsor is about 1/3 of all of our contacts, of all of our citations, all of our, reports and everything like that as well, for the month of April. Breaking down to the Windsor, we had 459 contacts, 33 reports in Windsor, 8 arrests, a total of 80 traffic stops and 16 citations. Deepwater had 19 contacts, 2 stops, 5 reports, 1 citation, and 4 arrests. Montrose had 28 contacts, 3 stops, 3 reports, and 1 citation. The city of York had 22 contacts, 8 stops, 3 reports, 1 citation, and 2 arrests. Calhoun had 18 contacts, 4 stops, 7 reports.
A little extra about all of this. So obviously we have 5 municipalities that we contract with, and each one is a little different. Each one has a little different on the policies and procedures, or I should say the statutes, city statutes. Some of them want us to do a lot of traffic stops, some don't, some want citations, some don't. So obviously the Windsor area, we have been hitting it very hard. It's a well-known fact. Obviously we have 24-hour protection there, and Windsor needs a little love. So we've done that. Our numbers have been drastic over there, but our citations are, as I always tell the staff, and I don't hide it, I'm not a big citation guy. We leave that to the highway patrol to go out and do the traffic stops, but our traffic stops are really good traffic stops. I know some people are here or there, it's like, well, you're pulling them over for no turn signal. Well, our traffic stop Saturday was just that. He had no brake lights. That turned into a pursuit. So those little traffic stops turn into things. That's why you see our citations go up in certain areas. Those little traffic stops turn into drug arrests. Last month it turned into a distribution case. So those little traffic stops turn into something when you see us out there doing those things. But our numbers are going up as well. A lot of speeding issues in Windsor, a lot of smaller things like that we're trying to tackle. So some other cities, like Montrose, they're not really big on traffic stops or citations. So we still do traffic stops, of course. We do those everywhere. But some cities, you just won't see a whole lot of citations in those areas. Rob?
Yeah, so when we were talking about the March numbers, I told you that we were starting to do a quarterly report. I'm going to read the quarterly report, which is January through March, what the total number of enforcement activities was for those 3 months, because I want to show you a comparison with how busy the guys were when they did this specialized enforcement in just the month of April alone. So our quarterly report, January through March of 2025, there was a total of 191 traffic stops conducted across the period of those 3 months. 118 specialized enforcement hours. There were 14 citations issued, 205 warnings issued, and there were 6 arrests that came from that specialized enforcement across those 3 months. So when we get to April, within 1 month of specialized enforcement, deputies conducted 154 traffic stops. That's just the month of April alone. There was 98 hours of specialized enforcement, 139 warnings issued. So that kind of tells you how busy the guys were just within the month of April. That proactivity, the productivity as well when it comes to out there looking for those hazardous moving violations, dealing with those folks, trying to make our highways safer. We all have family and friends that travel those roadways. For a number of years, Missouri's fatality rates have been up over 1,000, which was drastically too high. Those numbers kind of came about directly after COVID. People got used to there being less cars on the roadway, less enforcement activities going on, so people drove faster. And MoDOT thinks that's directly related to why the number of fatalities have gone up in past years. This year they've talked about, and one of the things that we implemented in our grant that we've submitted that we're still waiting for answers for, is they've seen a significant number of pedestrian-related fatalities. People that are on foot that are getting struck by motor vehicles. So that's another area to start focusing on. But you can just see how busy they were within the month of April. So I'm sure it'll be interesting to see when we get to the end of June with the July report what this quarter is going to look like. So.
Perfect, thank you. On the jail report, our ADP for April was 99. So again, it kind of steadies around there. That's where we like to keep it. When we get to about 100, it's a little bit too much for the day-to-day growth. But and then the same as last month, our leadership, and that's really true. Our jail isn't just a place of confinement; it's a launching pad for leadership. So we've had four of them actually. CDOs transitioned from the jail to the sheriff's office side, the road patrol side, and they're doing really great. And we're also really looking forward to our police academy that we're going to host here coming in July. And 6 of our detention officers are going to go to that. So it's a part-time academy. They can still work their 40 hours at the sheriff's office and attend these classes in the evening. So we're really, really looking forward to that. And I think that's the very last page, and Rob can talk a little bit more about that as well.
With the academy?
Yeah.
So in past years, we've partnered with the Missouri Sheriff's Association with bringing a part-time academy here to Henry County. We were able to do that consecutive for 2 years straight. When enrollments dropped off, then they I don't want to say discontinued the program, but they moved the program from Henry County to other areas. They have graciously, upon visiting with us, believe there's a need again. With Governor Kehoe taking office, one of his top priorities is not only prioritizing law enforcement and first responders across the state, but also bringing up getting us caught back up with the number of officers that Missouri is short. There's a shortage of law enforcement officers across the state. Officers have reached ages where they've retired. They've gone to the private sector where maybe there's more money, there's better hours. Everybody sitting at this table, and including members of our staff, will tell you that working in law enforcement is difficult. It's not easy physically, it's not easy mentally, and it's not easy when we're coming to families. And over a number of years, we've lost a lot of good officers for many of those reasons, along with other departments across the state of Missouri. So that was one of his initiatives. With that being said, he has opened up a line of scholarships where folks that are what we would call a citizen employee, maybe work in the detention center, work administratively or whatever. If they want to go to the academy, they can apply for one of these scholarships, and those scholarships then can be used to send them to the academy, so we can have more post-certified officers and bring those officers out to patrol. We're really excited about this. We've got a lot of instructors in-house already. We're going to be in the process here in the coming weeks, certifying other deputies that we have and officers to teach pretty much in-house. And we're looking for this to be an ongoing project with partnering with MSA. We've also had some preliminary discussion with State Fair Community College, who also wants to partner with us and MSA in potentially offering college credit hours for State Fair Community College students who are looking to specialize or to get a degree in criminal justice then, to be able to, if they attend our academy and successfully complete our academy, they would be able to then have a certain number of college credit hours that would go towards their degree already. So that's an added bonus. It really is. It's just to be able to do that and be able to have that partnership. Like I said, that's just kind of in the discussion phase. We spoke with State Fair yesterday and looking to facilitate a meeting between MSA and ourselves, and seeing how we can progress with this program and how it will benefit us locally. So
Perfect. All right, Lieutenant Kubas.
So, as just like in the month of March, April, they were investigating the 14 active criminal cases that they've had. Within that, in the month of April, the detectives served 10 subpoenas for further casework on those cases, and also 2 additional search warrants, which out of those search warrants, some were submitted to the state crime laboratory, and additional materials were sent to the United States Secret Service for forensic and intelligence analysts of phones. They have a very good system that is beyond our capabilities here locally, that we can grab stuff out of people's phones out of those search warrants. The snapshot of April, obviously with the reports and supplements that were filed, the 2 detectives and myself, we completed 61 supplemental reports or reports in the month of April. There was 12 interviews conducted, and again, there was 2 search warrants that were executed. Also, in addition to that, still the same evidence. That is like I said, that is the biggest thing, just on the focusing on the organization and the compliance. So like I said, the next person that comes in, we do an audit. Obviously, everything is where it's supposed to be. But we are proud to keep it going and be as professional and focused on all the investigations that come through our office. So it's not, sitting in the way limb. It is, we are getting the victims what they need.
Fantastic, thank you. Court security, it's been a very busy month. We've had over 4,100 visitors in April. I don't see that going down. We have a lot of jury trials still coming here. We have some from other counties coming here as well. So very busy place. It's good that they look for us to do that too, and we're absolutely fine with doing that. So a little other update. Thank you, Kelly, for helping us with our website/app. We're moving forward with that on the funding side. She shared that with you guys, so we're very appreciative and thankful for that. That's going to be a big deal for us on our transparency side. So the next thing we're about to tackle is our policies and procedures. We're trying to work with a company to see how we can get that rolling. That's a big endeavor too. So before we jump into the rest of these, you guys have any questions on operations side of things? It's a lot.
No, I think you covered a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot.
Perfect. Canines. Yeah. You want to start this one?
Sure. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Sergeant Brandt, and this is Sergeant Wilden. We're here to present an exciting opportunity to help build and strengthen the bond between our Sheriff's Department and the community. Currently, we have a lot across from the Sheriff's Office that is designated for canine training, which we have some equipment that was generously donated to us. And over time, several community members have asked to use that equipment. But due to liability reasons, we have said no on that. However, as part of our ongoing effort to build this relationship with our community, we'd like to propose an event that would allow the local dog owners the opportunity to engage with us and benefit from our training resources. We would like to introduce a Canine Day We would like to hold this once a quarter. It would be led by Sergeant Logan and myself, since we are the canine handlers of the department. It would also allow community members to work with their dogs on the obstacle course, learn valuable training tips, which we've been fortunate enough to learn from other handlers and other instructors, and watch live demonstrations of our canines. You want to go the details in the requirements?
Yeah, so some of the requirements, we'd have to make sure everyone has proof of current vaccinations. We would require all dogs to be leashed, muzzles if the owner thinks that there might be an issue. Just have the dog muzzled, but that'd be up, to us and the owner. We would require a liability waiver for them to be on the property, for them to be on the equipment. The behavior standards, if the dogs are not like other dogs or anything like that, we're not gonna tolerate that being on the property. If they're aggressive towards people or other animals, we're just gonna not ask them to participate in that just for safety reasons of anyone involved. And then it'll be up to Sergeant Brand and I, if there's, any issues to kind of handle that and, approve the dog to be there. Or like I said, if it's an aggressive dog to people, animals, then it wouldn't be allowed to participate in it while other animals are there. This brings a good educational opportunity for people, like Sergeant Brandt, for the community to be involved with the equipment and with us while we use our dogs for the equipment. Being able to be involved with the community. We get a lot of requests for people to use this facility. So the community wants to be involved with it, and then we would be involved with the community as well. And that would grow relationships as well, so.
Perfect. Yeah, we don't know where we stand. We've always been told that it's insurance reasons is why we don't open that to the public. I honestly don't know. We haven't done anything since I've been here, so we thought we'd just submit it to you guys and see what your guys' thoughts or feelings were on that, and go from there. So.
Probably the biggest thing would be insurance on, especially the dogs coming in. And if it's not supervised, especially.
Sure.
That'd be the big thing here. And that's the only problem I see. And it's been talked about, but it's just, where it's open, I don't know where we stand for sure on that.
What would it take for us to find out?
I don't know, we could,
They're
we'll
wanting
just
to
have to talk to their
fairly
insurance.
soon, I'm taking it.
It's whatever. I mean, we've never done anything over there, but so like they said, the idea, those two would be there. They're trained in it.
Yeah. Well, on a draining day, I think that'd be fine.
Sure.
I can see that. I'm talking about just the public coming in when they wanted to.
And that's still not allowed. Yeah.
That's-
This would
that's
only be
what I'm
certain
talking about.
days,
Yeah.
once a quarter, and it's a canine
Yeah,
day with the
that's-
sheriff's office.
Cause it's all
Yeah.
supervised.
And we still don't allow, or
Yeah.
we've talked about if we keep that lot, we ought to
Yeah.
have a fence out there and fence it off and put signage on it. As it is right now, the public just walks up there and they use it, and we have to go out there and tell them
Tell
it's
them not to.
closed property.
Yeah.
But they brought that up,
Yeah.
and in the future, we'll probably, document it, have somebody come look at it and give us some prices, cause I have no idea. And try to make that into a legit dog facility.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we agree. We still don't want it open.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
it'd be a
Yeah.
great idea, just, I would check
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
sure.
insurance
We
side
can
of
check
it, but
on
other
our
than
end.
that, I think it'd be a great idea. I mean, seems like good sense.
Okay. No, we'll check and then we'll just submit it back to you guys and what
Okay.
they say or.
That's good.
Yeah, go from there. So.
And these days will be supervised by Sergeant Brand.
Yeah, I think it's fine on that.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
The last thing
All
is
right.
the ordinance agreement with Brownington. And this is just like the other one. So Brownington's a little bit different. It does have all three signatures. And we can hold on to this until Jake's back too. Yeah, and it's Jake's on that last page too. So this is just like the other cities, but Brownington's a little different. They don't have set hours. This is just as is and as needed. So if we go write a citation for a city ordinance, we bill them as needed. It's not like a set hours or anything. The last thing I'd share on that, we just got emails this morning, actually. We talked to DPS in the governor's office, but we were approved for the Blue Shield as the county, and all 5 municipalities were approved too. It took a little bit longer. She said she had to call the governor's office
Mhm.
because it was the first time somebody's done that with so many municipalities in one agency. So they were pretty, they were excited about it. So of course I had to throw in there. So does that mean we get more grant money in July? She laughed.
Okay. We'll probably have to have, Jake, I don't know for sure when he'll be back, depending on Thursday, but we'll get it signed quick so we can.
All right.
Okay.
Any
All right.
questions for us?
Nope, very good.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you guys very
All
much.
right, thank you. Oh, that's on the part, what was that? Where's that?
Oh, that goes.
Yeah.
Wilmington.
Thanks, downstairs, going on over there. Robin.
Musical chairs.
Huh?
It is musical.
There we go.
So Robin, don't start singing.
It's over there because it's off camera.
Okay.
Two sides are off camera.
She can zoom in out. Yeah, we're good. We're gonna have somewhere to hide.
Okay, let's see if Kelly gets back. Okay, 10 for. All right, again.
Oh, she loved it. Yeah, she said, yeah, as soon as we were like off the ground, like 200 feet up, she goes, this is amazing. She's never been in an airplane before, so.
Especially something like that though.
Yeah.
It's all personal.
So, and that camera, like right by her face, the whole time, she's just like. Yeah. And she's been bugging me, the last couple of months. So she's flying season just.
Go ahead and switch, maybe put Brent up here. Get Brent here. Oh, he's here. Yeah. Then at the same time.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna put Brent, he's here, so just go ahead.
Sure.
And him and
He's ready to
Dennis
go.
at the same time. Dennis
Get him
gets
outta
back. Okay, Brett, we'll go ahead and get you.
Well, sorry about the scheduling.
Oh,
Thank you for letting me in here real quick. Just wanted to give, I'm Brent with Great River Engineering.
Yep.
I just wanted to give,
Dennis, yeah, that's Jake.
okay. So, I just wanted to give an update on this,
Yep.
bridge
Yep.
over White Oak Creek, Northwest 400 out there. And, it's, even with the flooding a couple weeks ago, that was underwater Monday and Tuesday. They were able to get their abutments formed up, and then last Monday, it was underwater again. But on Tuesday, they were able to pour their abutments and get that, in. So they're working around with all the flooding. And yesterday, they were going to begin setting the bridge girders, and, their crane pads weren't quite holding up, so they had to back out, and they dug that area out, and they're putting some rock in there this morning, and hopefully about noon today they should be setting those 3 girders plus the deck panels and begin forming this up for the bridge deck itself. So I think they're still on schedule, shouldn't have any issues, meeting their timeline of June 21st. They've got part of their rock blanket in, and things are moving forward, although, other than the flooding, kind of set them back a little bit, but I don't think it's too much.
The flooding and the thieves up there.
Yeah, they did have a break-in, unfortunately. I'm sure you guys were out there. They said possibly 20 to 30,000 worth of tools and stuff that was stolen, unfortunately. That was 2 weeks ago today, I guess.
And then
So,
this weekend, they hit them for about 200 gallons of diesel.
I didn't hear about that.
Okay.
I did not hear about that part, so.
Yeah, he wasn't in a very good mood yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was a pretty rough day, especially like I said, having those girders there, and they were wanting to set them girders, and we finally called at about 3 o'clock and said we need to dig all this out, and For those
Start
crane
over.
pads that started sinking and stuff, those girders 90 foot, 8 inches long, and
They're,
yeah, so, but I just wanted to give a quick in-person
Okay.
update on that. I'll send this out later today or first thing tomorrow in an email. I
Okay.
believe there is
Yeah.
a Mark, possibly I've been sending this to, email Mark 1 or something.
Mark
It
Larson.
keeps kicking back.
It should be Mark L.
Mark L.
Not Mark 1, okay.
Mark L.
I'll get that changed, so I don't know if they've been forwarded it to you or not, but I apologize for that, so I'll get that corrected. So, do you all have any other questions for me with this particular project?
No, sounds like y'all moving right along.
Yeah, hope they should meet their target date, if
Yes,
not
sir.
before, and I would expect about the 19th of the month to be
Really?
pouring that bridge deck,
Really.
so that's
Good.
what I'm expecting,
That'll
so,
be good.
all right.
Right.
Well, thank you all, I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Copy of that.
Okay. Thanks. Brett.
Thank you, guys.
Don't be pointing
Dennis?
fingers at me. You got more papers than I do.
Okay. Dennis.
We are not gonna have the $125,000 worth of flood damage like we thought we was going to. If all the townships would get on board with it and stuff, we could have possibly hit it, but a lot of townships won't get on board with it and don't wanna take the pictures and stuff, so, we're fixing what damage we can and moving on, and we've got a bunch of pipe that's gotta go in the ground in the next couple of weeks. Brush cutters, I am gonna fire them up tomorrow and start, send them out, so they'll be start cutting brush tomorrow.
Okay.
You get any questions for me, Mark? Jim?
No. Where are you
Balls?
starting? Brush cutting? Where at?
I think he's
Gonna
talking
start-
about starting in Fields Creek Special and going up the line and coming across into Tebow and,
Okay.
Windsor and working back and forth until they get the whole east side done.
Okay. All right.
So we did go over and do some ditching for Tebow Township. And we got that done, so, got a hold of Windsor, they didn't wanna do any this year. So we brought the ditcher home and swapped it out, and put the motor back on it already, and so they're gonna be going out tomorrow. We're trying to get some culverts that was plugged completely up with brush or smashed down, opened up to where we can get some water draining in places. I talked to you about Bear Creek, we ran their roads and looked at their culverts. They're bouncing around 25 to 30 culverts that's gonna have to be replaced. And, once, like yesterday, we started digging brush out of one. And once we got all the brush dug out of it, the bottom's completely gone. So we had to add it to the list. So I'm gonna meet with them, tonight or tomorrow and give them the good news. So, otherwise, I did not get, the specs to Kelly for the, 6-inch channel stuff because, I was just busy with other stuff and, it's gonna be July before we get our bridge beams, so I didn't figure a week would hold us up too bad. So we won't have no bid openings next week, it'll be the following week.
Okay.
Boss, you got anything?
Did you say Big Creek or Bear Creek?
Big Creek.
Thank you.
I'm gonna leave before my phones interrupt you again.
Okay. Okay, Mark.
Generator install is gonna start today. They'll be here to start installing generators for the courthouse today.
Okay.
Finals are in. Are they all emailed?
Yeah.
Okay, so the summary's out. I don't know if you wanna put it on the website or what you're gonna do with it.
You sent it to,
I would put it on the
you said,
website.
yeah, I mean, I presume
Yeah.
that'd be fine to put on there. Did you send that to Evergy and everything? Get that?
I'm not
You
sending
sent me a
anybody.
copy.
Well, I sent it to Evergy this morning. So Chuck has it.
Okay.
Actually, he just emailed me and thanked me and wanted to know when we expect to publish these results.
Okay.
So
I can do it today.
I think it'd be a good idea. People are wanting to know.
Are you gonna send him an email then?
Yeah, I'll send him an email and tell him that we're putting it out today.
Okay.
I'll just put it on the main page.
Yeah, I think that'd be good enough. We can either talk about this now or talk about this later, but after reading it, we need to decide what we're gonna do as a county with these. And I don't care how we handle it, but I don't want it to extend out to where we talk about it, but we don't do anything.
Well,
So we need to come to some, and we may have to wait for Jake, and I understand that. But I don't want this to turn into, I mean, everybody's been waiting on this. I hated holding on to it as long as I did because I was just concerned. This somewhat explains it, probably a little better than if we just put graphs and stuff out there. But as a county, we need to make a decision how we are going to handle this, because this is not only just affecting some individuals, whatnot. I do believe we need to get the water guy in here, because the way this shows, the water is bad. Now, how it's coming out of after what they're filtering and what they're filtering and what they're not filtering, the public needs to be aware. We need to be aware. And I think it would probably do, I don't even know, who is the water?
it'll be Alliance.
Alliance. I think it
They'll
would
have
be
all that.
Alliance very good for somebody to come in and explain if they are even checking and doing filtering for the products that we have in this water. Because if they're just doing the lead and whatever, the stuff that you normally do in a water place, that's not gonna get it. That's not gonna filter this stuff out. So I think we need to move out on this. This has been going on for a number of years. We finally have done something with it. I don't want to drop the ball and say, well, okay, we found out what it is, so we're done, because that's not where our duty actually ends, is right there.
I don't know where our authority is on the whole deal.
Well,
That's the first thing we
I
gotta
will
find
tell
out.
you, our authority, we actually are like I said, Jim, if you put this in government terms, you're like the president, Jake and I are like the legislature. In that respect, we can write an ordinance that shuts this down. We get Mark involved, we get the health department involved, and we probably may have to get Scott involved, because that is a dump site. I don't know what it's registered or how they've got it licensed, commercial, whatnot. That is a dump site. There's nothing going on out there other than dumping. Due to that, and I'll tell you, I haven't released it yet, but I've got an ordinance written for this. That's probably not gonna make a whole lot of people happy, but it will stop it. And we need to actually do what we were elected to do, and that is to govern this county and not look the other way. So like I said, I've got it written. I think it would be good probably for an attorney to look at it. I will tell you, not Ivan, because I don't think Ivan knows anything about this. I don't care if it's an attorney in this town or what, but we have to move out, because at some point we become culpable for this. We've known that it's been going on. We've watched it happen. Nobody has said anything and nobody has done anything. I don't want to be the guy that's sitting up here and someone says, why didn't you do something? So like I said, we're gonna have to vote between this, but I'm gonna put it out there right now. I think we need to do something. I think it needs to be done, and I think it needs to be done very quickly, because this is affecting a whole lot of people. Trust me, I don't like it. It stinks. I wish that I could just turn my back and say it never happened, but it has, and we need to do something about it. So,
It's permitted as a landfill.
huh?
It's permitted as a landfill.
It's permitted as a landfill, then, that actually, if it is, that's gonna make it easier. A whole lot easier.
And I'll guarantee you, I spent 31 years out there, and the ash pile was part of my responsibility. It's not being done the way we did it when the plant was operating. I'll
Well, it's,
guarantee it.
and that's one of the stipulations where we can stop it, is because of that.
Yeah.
I mean, literally. It's just a matter of, everybody's gonna have to get on board, and probably even Lucretia and Aaron, you also, because you'd be the one to have to enforce it. I mean, just, it is what it is. They haven't slowed down with the trucks, they've sped up. So, it's like I told Chuck, they're getting real close to being culpable too. If you know you are causing a health issue or something to that effect, and you continue to do it.
And now they're using water trucks to wash the road to try and cover their ass.
Yeah, but they're using it from the water trucks that are coming out of Montrose Lake.
Yeah,
So
but you're
they're-
not supposed to eat fish out of there because.
Yeah, they're using contaminated water to cover up contaminated
And I
soil.
saw that lake close one time for eating fish, and that was during the switch over from local coal to western coal. They had a bad reading down there. We called conservation, they shut it down for about 3 weeks till we got everything straight.
Yeah, I mean,
And now it's all over Truman.
yeah, well, yes, these results, when people see them, it is in Truman Lake.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe that I know we sent a letter out to any of the surrounding counties telling them that we were doing this testing and informing them of what was going on. We need to send them another letter telling them what we have found out. Because you've got people, Truman Lake flows into Lake of the Ozarks, and I'm pretty sure those commissioners are gonna wanna know what's coming their way.
Well, I think first off, let's talk to Lucretia and see where we need to head. I ain't even talk about it, because that's something we need to find out.
Yep,
And
yep.
then move up the ladder where we're going.
Yep.
That part of it, if that's the case. And I don't know, that'll have to be discussed, because I don't know that part of it is separate. Because we're getting in a little different than the normal county stuff here. So,
Questions about
Okay.
testing?
No, I don't,
yeah, you sent a report.
So, yeah, so on,
My-
right quick, just to make it clear. Because you're gonna post this online, aren't you? I only got one copy. But on the red,
right, yeah,
that's not saying that it's there, it's not saying it's not there, it came back inconclusive.
inconclusive.
Okay.
On the red.
Oh.
So from our lab, they had to dilute it down so much and.
To find it.
Hmm.
So they're not saying for sure it's there or it's not there.
That's a
Oh, they are.
CYA.
On the red.
Yeah,
The,
on the
the
red.
green is for
Right
sure
here.
there.
Yeah.
The red,
This
the
here.
red is a CYA, is basically what it is.
Well, that's where, because then you got a chemist talks about what's those in. But that is what,
How many pages was it?
166.
That's what I thought.
Every test we have in the county, if you want to publish it, DNR is all right here.
Did you, that was one question. Did you ever call them?
DNR?
Uh-huh.
I have not.
Well, either that or Chris, because I'm trying to find out how DNR, this was sent to DNR. Under the guise of what?
I know the preliminaries were sent to DNR, and I know the final was sent to DNR.
Yeah, well, this front page. And I'm trying to figure out where DNR gets off thinking that we are having tests done and they can just willy-nilly tell somebody, well, send me that copy too. If they wanted it, they could have done their own testing.
Well, they were there, they pulled their samples from the same samples. They just sent theirs to a different lab. Chris, our guy, pulled all the samples, and then DNR, he filled DNR's bottles for them.
Okay,
So it's all the same dirt.
okay. Not that I don't trust people, but I don't trust people.
But some of those ones that came back inclusive on our testing, DNR has actual results for.
Do they?
Okay, well, we'll go ahead and move along.
Which testing, like companies or departments, do you have the results for already for everyone's or just?
Well, we've got them from,
Our testing company,
yeah, Tech Lab.
Tech Labs, some of DNR, they didn't publish all of theirs, and they
Yeah.
published 3 testing sites instead of all locations.
And then I've got Bill's.
And you got Bill's.
I've got Bill Stewart's.
Evergy said they will share theirs with us once they get theirs finalized.
Theirs are finalized.
Yeah, they're waiting on the summary like our, like we just got.
Yeah, I think they got it.
So,
He wanted to release his at the same time that we released ours. But I don't work for him, so.
And that will, well, I mean, if yours, the results you're showing are pretty bad, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And every truck that keeps coming every day is making it worse.
Yep.
Are any of these labs that you guys are using that test the ground, do they also test blood samples?
I don't.
so these labs are all environmental, they're all soil and water.
Because I've been trying for a month and a half,
This is,
and the health center sent them off, and they came back, a few of them came back, the ones that basically a educated idiot could run. And the others, well, this wasn't right, or this wasn't right, or this wasn't right, and now I'm having a hard time even getting the sample bottles to pull blood and do it. And if you go to the hospital, they want $2,000 to run $200 worth of samples. And I'm just not real big on paying the click for that.
Do you have a doctor, like just your normal everyday doctor?
Yeah, but they want to run through the hospital. It's about $2,000. So I'm trying to find an independent that's trustable.
Man, I have no idea, honestly. That's way above my pay grade.
Well, mine too.
Do we know how DNR's, if they're the same samples, how DNR's equates to the counties?
So that's what, they put their results out, I had them here, everything's pretty close. They only put out 3 locations, they didn't put out all the locations.
So the 3 that they put out, how does that equate to the 3 of the counties?
They come up the same, yeah.
So obviously get it, with it being the same as an equivalent, it's that bad.
Yeah, I mean, if one was here and one was here,
Right.
then you won't, you're gonna question something.
Right.
But since they all, I knew they had come all out of the same tube deal, they should be pretty close, and it may be just a hair off. One may be a little bit higher, one may be a little bit lower. As long as they're within range, then, I mean, there's an issue, but I don't think there's an issue with the testing side of it, I think. And what you were talking about, the red, they've got a number. They just can't, I mean, it's like, say I test right here at this spot, and I give you a distinct number. And I go over here and I test, and you'll have a red number, it's got that like triangle on it.
Less than.
Yeah, less than. They got a number, but they may have had to do something, thin it down, water it down, whatever it is they do to come up with that number. But I mean, you know, at this point, it's not rocket science. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you got one here and you're 10 feet away and it's bad, I'm pretty sure the next one's gonna be bad too. So, but they can't really, you know, because in case this goes to court or anything like that, they have to be able to stand behind exact what they're doing. They're not gonna give you a guess and then go into court and stand behind that. So,
Oh, I got.
I have tons of questions, but I only speak on behalf of the sheriff, not a citizen, but on those reports, it's a CYA too on the very back of that, but is there a company that can trace where this source is coming from then? They're telling you what the soil samples are, but is there a company that can tell you, like, backtrace what this is coming from?
So they can do, and we got a sample from the fly ash.
Mhm.
They can do genetics testing on it.
yeah. That's why we took it from the fly ash.
Has that been completed? No. Well, then obviously everything's money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're ready to put that ordinance out and vote on it, like,
Yes, but like I said, I think we need, I was gonna send it to Jake, and I'll send one to you, Jim, because I will say I'm not a lawyer. I mean, I'm not the dumbest person around, but I wrote it. I did, in case it like got expensive, or, because it gets entailed. I mean, it does. But there are grants that cover that. There's a lot of I mean, it's kind of layer upon layer upon layer, because I've been working on this for months. Because I knew we were gonna, I knew it was bad. I mean, there was, I've seen videos that you wouldn't believe, and it will probably come out in court. I know where it's coming from. You know, no one will ever convince me that it's not coming from there. But it's like anything else, you gotta prove, you gotta do it step by step by step by step. However long it takes is however long it takes. We have no control over that at all. I mean, hell, it could be 10 years before it ever went to court if they bring it. It could be 2 months. Nobody knows that side of it. My thing was, we just needed to do what we needed to do in the position that we're in to get this ball rolling. And Mark and I have talked, and it was like, okay, this is gonna be the best way. Let's get all of our ducks in a row. And once we have them final, then we need to present it to the public, let the public see it. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get a whole lot of phone calls. I'll probably get a whole lot of phone calls with questions about it. That's why we wanted that summation page. And honestly, that summation page is not quite as good as I had hoped. But it does tell you which ones, where it's bad, and that there is a problem with some of this.
And I think that question still stands, because it's a question we still get at the sheriff's office, is I live there and I still drink the water and I still take a shower. So I don't care about the lawsuits, I don't care about this, I don't care about that. I care about drinking and showering every single day.
Right.
What do I do for that?
See, and that's why I think it'd be beneficial for us to get the water guy in here. See what they're doing, because I mean, and I'm gonna say this, I'm not a water guy. I don't know water, I don't know anything about it, but I do have learned quite a bit about this. And if they're not filtering this out, it's bad for you. Like over the top.
Their results are
bad.
posted online too.
They've got
I can't
the
understand it.
test results done.
But
They do their own testing too.
But there's no chromium hexavalent in it. I saw their
There
test.
is one now that was done with it. We understand. I don't know that for sure. We'll have to find out. That's some of the things you need to find out before jump 100% in.
Well, Jim, I'm gonna tell you.
If that's the case, you,
Me worrying about jumping and getting ahead of myself, I am always going to err on the side of caution, because this should have been handled many years ago. It was brought here in front of this commission, and everybody laughed about it and said, well, hope you don't get a northwest wind then. That's not the way this should have been handled. You guys, I'm just straight up. You guys should have investigated this. You shouldn't have waited this long to do something about it, because there's no telling what has happened because of this. So as far as me, I need to check and make, I don't need to check anything. You tell me you got it there, then we need to do something, period. Period. That's it. If I make somebody mad, or I do something that I'm not supposed to, I said this a long time ago, guys, I'm not a politician, don't want to be one, but I want what's right done. And if somebody wants to stand in the way and make excuses or decide, well, we need to do this or we need to do that, it ain't flying anymore. I told you that a long time ago. It's not. We're going to do this the way it needs to be done, and we're going to protect these people. That's our job. Our job is to govern this county. If I've heard you say I'm not a chemist, I'm not a lawyer, I'm still waiting for the commissioner's side to come out. I got to be honest with you, because this is ridiculous. This should have never happened. Never. I do not understand in what world people that are in charge of this government here knows that's going on and just looks the other way. And we're going to worry about the roads and bridges. That stuff's out there on that grass, on our right-of-ways. It's out there on the soil. You're going to send guys out there, you're going to tell Dennis to go out there and cut that grass and grade those roads like that? Do you understand that whenever you do any type of construction or any work like that, it's called a competent person. They are responsible. The guy that sends them out there to do that can be held responsible if they don't have the proper PPE and everything else when they're out there moving that. I don't know what, like I said, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Yeah, one of the ex-commissioners worked out there, retired from out there. He knew what it was.
two of them did.
Well, I know at least one did.
How long have you known about it, Jim?
I didn't know about it.
You knew
Till
about,
right
you
now,
knew
the
about it
flies
4
feel-
years ago for a fact, because I can get
Right.
Bill Stewart to come in here right now and tell you the date and everything, because he's got it written, when he brought this to you guys, and you guys literally laughed. You laughed about it and thought, well, I hope you don't get a northwest wind, ha ha ha, and then went right on with business.
I don't think we said that, but anyway, what it did say.
You might be
What it did
surprised.
say, DNR, EPA is who you have to deal with on that out there. That's what I've always been told. Evidently, I was wrong there.
You know
Well,
what?
that
You
part of
need
it.
to quit listening to people.
All right.
You're the presiding commissioner, run it. Don't call some other county and say, hey, what are you guys doing? Or I'm so stinking tired of following everybody. How about if for once in Henry County's life, they get out in front of it? Be a novel concept. I'm done. What? I didn't get to tell you guys because you started walking. You guys are doing a great job, by the way. All of you. Everybody was in here and your whole force. I mean, you have changed. I will tell you, you have changed Henry County for the better. You guys have done a very, very good job.
You did all the houses.
Okay. Let's go ahead. Mike, got 5 minutes, if you could. Move it along.
Alright. So I'm just here to talk about the SB 190. I know couple of months ago, Mark had brought it up, but it kind of didn't go anywhere at that time. And a few weeks ago, I actually started putting together a petition, start getting names on that petition so that we can put it on the ballot. And last week I saw you guys did talk about it. You guys have been receiving a lot of phone calls lately. So I'm glad that you guys are discussing actually putting it forward now. So I started to get these signatures for putting it on the ballot. Because one, if you guys didn't take it up, and two, even if you take it up, it's a good thing to put it on the ballot anyway, because once the citizen, or once the residents voted on the ballot, and if they voted in, then it's pretty much solidified. And I wanted to start getting this done so we can get that freeze in place as soon as possible. And it looks like, you know, I talked to Kelly just for a moment about asking when the next election is, and we really don't have one till April, countywide election. And honestly, I didn't want to, I was doing this for, you know, this August or November, but now I don't want, I looked at how much that would cost, and it's way too much. I wouldn't want to waste that much money, the taxpayers' money, just to put this one thing on there. So I do want to get it prepared for April, because April's when we do have a countywide election already, right?
So it's an open election. It will be an election in April.
Okay.
Yes, there will be one, regardless whether the county has anything on it or not. It doesn't have to be countywide, but there is an election scheduled for April, whereas there isn't for August or November.
And that's what I'm working towards now, just getting this prepared for April. And looking at the numbers, I think I need around 600 signatures, and I'm gonna shoot for a little bit above that just to make sure we have enough. But in the meantime, I was gonna ask you guys, and like I said, I watched last week, you guys are already talking about it talking about last week about maybe doing it. But asking you guys to actually vote on that as soon as possible, just to get those numbers frozen for the senior citizens. Because this, will take next April, so that's a whole nother year it'll take to start freezing those assets if we waited until the voters voted it in. And it's pretty much, it's pretty much a given, it'll be voted in. There's already 46 counties that's done it in Missouri, and among those 46 counties, I think one of the lowest approval ratings was 80%, and the highest was around 95%. So it will be passed once it's on the ballot, but I just ask you guys, I know, Mark, like I said, a couple months ago, you were trying to get it done, or bringing it up, and now it seems like Jim and Jake was talking about it last week now. So if you guys could get it done as soon as possible, just to get those assets frozen at the time, and then I'll back it, I'll work on getting these signatures and getting it on the ballot for April then. And that way, it'll be solidified by the residents.
I think.
And it couldn't be undone by a future commission.
Right. I think correct me if I'm wrong, I think we had talked, Rick had written up kind of the, like a format.
So we've got-
And we were gonna go through it and either add or subtract.
Oh, the ordinance?
Yeah,
Yeah,
add or
we got it
subtract
We
things
have
in
we
it.
have
Yeah.
a sample ordinance already written.
Yeah,
We're working on it. In fact, we're supposed to meet today with Scott and Rick. and
is it
go
today or
to
next
get-
Thursday?
Gotta get everything together to
Next
make it
week,
work.
when Jake's
That's-
back.
And
That's what I
Jake will be
thought, yeah.
back. We'll make sure he is here, so that's the reason.
And the petition I'm working on would be for, everyone's current, their residence that they live in, to get completely all of it frozen, not just part of it or this part or that part. And I know that was kind of discussed last week.
You don't talk about
It basically, and that was part of the thing we were gonna decide. It would be everything, every tax entity, all of them.
Yeah.
We would stop all of them, or not stop, let me rephrase that real quick.
Freeze.
Yeah, freeze.
On real estate.
That could have gone bad real quick. They were gonna freeze all of them. Some of the questions were how much, like I'm thinking, and I think Scott is, and maybe Rick, I'm not 100% sure, the house and 5 acres is what, because that's, I think, the way Scott's got something else set up. That seems like that would be the simplest. One of the questions was, if we do that, then, if you've got 2 or 3 buildings within that 5 acres, should that be allowed? I'm of the mind, yes, but we'll have to, that's particulars.
And I talked to Scott about that too, just asking him how his numbers are right now. And it seems like if you've been taxed at 5 acres and these buildings have always been part of that residency, I mean, it seems like that would be the way just to keep it so that it's the same as it's always been. That way you don't have to have 2 different systems, one for taxing this and one for taxing just these buildings.
The only thing I can think of, and I think Scott had brought this up too, and actually it was very good. We're gonna have to figure out when we write it, some way that when we write it up, say, I'm gonna use Jim as an
If you're
example.
running a business out of another building within
Yeah.
that 5 acres, then
Yeah.
that should be separate.
We've gotta figure out a way to keep that separate,
Yeah.
because that's not really part of
Homestead.
the homestead.
Yeah, and that sounds, and I actually was talking, Scott was talking about that, and that's not too bad, because before he was like, I don't have a bunch of people who go out there and assess every single 62-year-old in the above property.
Right.
But if you just narrow it down to just people with a business that, okay, we just have to come out and look at yours, then it wouldn't be too hard. I don't think there's that many people
Right.
that would qualify and has the business on there.
Especially at 62.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, maybe a guy your age or, but you're not gonna have a business at 62.
I'm smarter than that.
Yeah.
But I just have a question for you. When
I've
would,
done
for
been down the
April to
business
make the
and-
ballot, when would I have to submit these to you?
Third week in January is the last day to certify. I can't give you an exact date. 'Cause
What's the best time for you so that it's not, like, I don't wanna make it so you're rushing at the last minute or anything?
As long as I have it before that third week of January, we're good.
Okay.
Can I, in the Senate bill, it gives you, where it tells you that you can petition as a person, you can petition the commission,
Mhm.
and it gives you the actual ballot language, so I don't want you to fill your petition with a bunch of stuff that's just not gonna be,
I think this is one that's been passed, from more than one county, so.
cause
that way you
it lays out in there exactly what you
the
can
wordage.
ask.
Yeah,
So it says, shall the county of, say, Henry, exempt senior citizens from increases in the property tax liability due on such senior citizens' primary residence, which is the same you have here.
yeah.
And if you're petitioning that and they've already adopted that,
Mhm.
that's not, they already have the ordinance.
Yeah, so the
you're-
reason we wanna continue this, even if they adopt it, is so that it's still on the ballot and the voters voted in, and once it's voted in, that means the commissioners can't, like, a year from now or 2 years from now, they can't vote it out. So, the guy who actually wrote this, who drafted the bill, I spoke with him, and he told, I was speaking with him on the phone, and he said, definitely, even if they're already starting to talk about doing it and they get it done before your petition's done, he said continue because you want the residents to solidify it. So, and that would be why you want it on the ballot in the end. But that's all I had.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
And I did get your email. I'll address that when we get downstairs.
thank you.
Hey, Mike, have you got that petition with you?
Yeah.
Those petitions, you're gonna wanna check, because when you have them signed, you either, I think, I wanna make sure, I just check this. They have to be either certified, or you have to certify anybody that signs.
Yes.
You stand good for their signatures, is
Yes.
what I'm saying.
I
Okay.
have to go to a notary and notarize that I witnessed them sign.
Right, yeah, right.
Get your petition in, I was looking at the dates. Cause we have to verify the signatures, and if you have 500 signatures plus, it's gonna take a little while to do.
Okay.
So if the certification date is, I think it's gonna be the 27th of January of next year. You certainly wanna get that petition in a few weeks before that, so you can get your ballot language wrote up and it's
Okay.
certified to the commission. So I would say by the end of the year, by the end of this year, definitely have your petition.
All right.
Jim, will you sign that? We missed one. Thank you.
Okay, don't slap that with it.
I wouldn't do it. I was gonna say you can sit down and read it while you're doing your extracurricular activities.
Oh, in other words, only put it in the bathroom.
There you go.
I'm too beat up to do extracurricular activities.
That's what I meant about.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess next on the agenda, should we go Scott and Rick, see if they wanna come out?
Are you gonna have,
Well, if we're gonna talk about this, what we talked about.
I think
You
that's,
wanna wait?
that's next
Next
Thursday.
week.
Oh, for next week?
Yeah, that's next Thursday, when
Okay.
Jake
when
is
Jake was
Jacob
gonna be
back.
back?
Okay, so I just thought we'd get some of it kinda ironed out.
Well, you can call him, I don't know,
No.
I got to.
I guess it doesn't matter. Cause I was going through some of them, marking through, cause
Mm-hmm,
some of that we don't need in.
right, it needs changed.
Yeah. And I guess my big thing is how he spells that out, and the separating what we have to do there. But I think the rest of it, pretty simple. I think, cause it's 62 years or older, and that's pretty well spelled out.
The only thing I saw, there was 2 paragraphs that looks like they needed to be crossed out.
Yeah, I
And
marked
then-
out,
Then there needs to be some place that definitively says the house, 5 acres, whatever.
yeah,
There also needs to be a place that is, you decide what your age, like,
Oh, when it starts,
must be
takes place.
62 by
Yes.
December 31st of the tax
Yeah.
year frozen.
Right.
Or, I mean,
Mhm.
it's that simple, but that has to be spelled
Yeah.
out in there.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of little stuff there. It's gotta be, we gotta get ironed out and compared, but other than that, I guess, the big thing is the tax year you freeze. That's what I'm hearing more than anything.
Well, it's,
And that's
our only
code.
option at this point is 25,
Yeah.
so.
That's your big thing right now, people. Well, that's tax, but
Is it,
reassessment.
is it 25 though? Cause I could've
I
sworn
would have sworn
Travis,
down Travis.
Travis said we could go back to 24.
I agree with what Travis said, and that's why I was asking about that.
I may be speaking out of, but my understanding was that the tax, the company that Rick is
Couldn't do it.
using
Oh, they can't.
couldn't
They
go
can't do it.
back
Okay, that makes more
that far.
sense.
And now, I could be wrong, but I think that's the way I understood it, was that they couldn't go back.
That's the only thing, and that's one of the things there is I never have been able to figure out. Because I thought, one time, it's talking about no matter what year you're at, you can freeze it back in 4 or 5 years back.
Right, right.
That's the way I understood it.
That's the way Travis
What
made it
Travis
say.
said.
Yeah.
But what
Be
he's,
clear about it, it ought to go back to before
and
COVID.
he,
before
I guess,
registration.
Yeah.
he's an attorney, and that's a lot, but I just saying what he said, that's all. And I don't know. I don't know about the other, I know the big thing is just like what we do is get it handled. But
Kelly, is your copying machine working?
It is?
yeah,
I signed this, can I get a copy of it, please?
and hopefully Jake will come back and we can get that out of there.
She having more surgery or?
No, Jake can I don't know.
I didn't know, I knew he had surgery on his shoulder or something there for a while, he was kind of bummed up, and thought maybe he had to go back and do something on his buddy might
I
have.
think
Huh?
He's just out of town.
for something.
Yeah, I think it's something different, so I don't know.
You got any
Anyway, has to be
staples?
gone.
This is the tiniest staple guy. Here's stapler. What's those, right there?
Those are not
It's
little.
just something you can tell people call you if they're really, really worried about it. That's stuff I don't want to increase.
Big thing. You
Just
can't
need a
hold-
few.
You can't hold 2 minutes.
When you have
I
that,
can get your
Yeah.
that big part-time.
So it's like
They have room.
there's
Got it.
Police academy, is that for
All right.
people
There's
that?
something for you to
Yeah.
get.
Okay.
They really want to deal with right now.
Myself.
They're going to take your action.
Okay.
There you go.
Look how fast
All
that
right.
is copies.
Oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that wonderful?
It's so nice.
Copies are done. It's so nice.
I didn't even have to kick it.
And did,
All right.
did it quickly
Did
too.
it fast.
Okay, if I wanna print it.
Do
Okay,
you guys have any reserve
All right.
type,
Kelly,
stuff, or is it?
which printer is it?
It's called Brother Commission. You'll probably have to find it at a printer.
I was wondering about it. Wait a minute.
What are we short
And this
now?
part-time thing, will it just be this year, or is it gonna be a continuous thing?
Huh.
Yeah. I'm
Bethlehem,
Two.
Clinton Country Club,
Had a printer.
and Clinton Township.
Thanks, guys. Yep.
Not it.
Good deal.
Not it.
I saw that they had some kind of like, the governor had something they put out where you could get.
I shook him down for this one.
Is that something that-
You had to come in for some other stuff. I was like, and your credit card.
Okay. Kelly.
What you doing?
Oh, I'm trying to find a printer here.
Mm-hmm.
Save as, I don't have a place to look.
Hit add a printer.
Here, wait a minute, yeah. Okay, here it is.
And add device.
Device.
Yeah, that's.
I just need to find
And it
brother,
should say,
brother, here's a
no,
brother.
it should say commission.
Here,
I
no.
had to get a part-time job at the sheriff's office, which paid for my lunch. It's a
No,
lot.
here's brother.
It was
Scroll back
cheaper
up.
when we went through it than what it is
Right there.
now. Yeah.
Is there a
About
PTO?
Huh? That's a high, is that?
Yeah, there was a lot of PT when I went through.
Does it have a, does it have a number?
In charge of it, right? PT. It's still pretty good PT, it's running.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have a pre-test of, that's gonna put everybody on a
LC
tier of where they're at
Huh?
at the
Do you
beginning.
see anything that says LC seven
That they've gotta show certain levels of improvement, and then
Here.
by the
Whoop.
very
Chuck says,
end,
can I do it?
they've
Just
got
say,
to,
he
Yes.
sees what you're
Oh,
doing.
yes.
Type yes. Chuck saw you in there messing around. He's like, don't touch buttons.
I've had him do that before.
Message him and tell him to set Mark's up too,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
Jake's.
Oh,
So you guys can print straight from your tablet to
Oh.
the printer.
where's the
Yeah.
message? Hold on, hold on.
Just click in the little white box there where you typed yes.
Well, it's gone.
No, it's not.
But that's
It's right
why
there.
it's called part-time
Oh.
as opposed to going 40 or 48 hours within a week. It spreads out over, it
Yep.
would start in.
Hold on,
in
Jim.
the First part of July and then.
I tried to do that.
Why's your mouse jumpy? Because Chuck's trying to do something on your computer.
So, like.
I can't type anything.
Just ignore it. I'll
Will
send him a
you,
message.
you send him a message. Put Jake and him both.
He's getting ready to take over your computer.
He's already taken over. I
He
couldn't
does
do
that
anything.
sometimes.
Because every time I moved it, he would keep taking it back.
Just hit X on the top. I
Get
used to do
I
that.
did
out
do
of there.
this. Make him chase the mouse.
Well, I've found he can do it a lot quicker. And now that we got a printer, it's a little faster, it's not too bad to do.
We're also live on YouTube now, yay.
Yep.
So let all your people
Everything
know
day
if you wanna
you-
watch the commission meeting every day.
Get a little better, just, and let's see, get into county, see.
Henry County.
Henry
Missouri
County.
Commission.
Henry County Commission.
Does it stay on there too? Like you
Yep.
can watch
Yep,
it later?
yep.
Okay.
Better say Missouri. We're gonna get a lot of Henry County in search.
And this one, you see whoever's talking.
It's double screen.
Double
so you can see
screen.
there and up there.
So you got both sides of it, just a lot clearer. And I think the voice is a little better too.
I don't know, I'm not sold on the sound.
Yeah,
We're still working on some
Can you drop like mics or something from the
kind of
ceiling?
mic. Could. I think if we got a really good one and just put it in the center, that it would pick up. I mean, this room's not that big.
You're missing both sides. Those seats are invisible.
Yeah, my cameras, I was having trouble signing in this morning, so I couldn't zoom, so that's not always
that
like
Zoom
that.
on?
It's
Catch-
just
How
today's.
much?
She showed it last night.
Huh? What?
I don't know what the final total's gonna be yet, because we've swapped cameras so many times.
She couldn't get signed
How what?
in.
How
She showed
much
it last time, 'cause I
did
seen
we
it last
spend
time.
on
Oh.
She could do,
That's good.
I think it'd be six.
Telling you,
$4 grand?
Oh, way less than that.
Yeah.
Way
Yeah.
less than that.
Something like 2,500. I would
See
say
that?
I think it's even gonna be less than that.
That one
Less
that I
than 20.
brought in here,
Mm.
that out too, was $4,000. You set it on the table.
Yeah.
If he talks, the camera turns
Turns
to
to
him.
him.
You can hear, they sound great. And then you can take it from here and you can take it downstairs
Mhm.
and do the same thing. It was portable.
Mhm.
That's the reason I thought it would work better.
Yeah. No, it's not been very expensive at all, and the platform's free. And that was one of my concerns was, well, what if we meet in the basement, you know? Well, I have iPads downstairs in my office that we can just flip open
Flip
and go
open.
straight to our live page and live from wherever we're at, so. I have thought about that as well.
I like my iPad better.
You're an Apple guy, huh?
Just, to me, it's simpler, that's all.
And I hate any
And
Apple
I-
product.
And I get, in Microsoft, I just have some issues once in a while.
They're just different.
Huh?
That's all. Used to it.
Well, crap, I don't know. He's got everything else on here.
He's still going.
Yeah, I don't think Kelly would ever got into this to be able to link that one.
It looks like he's having to download it onto your, I thought he
Yeah,
already.
10.0.3.101.
It's Chuck.
Chuck?
Are you watching? We're talking about you. Oh, yeah, I thought it was in there. Okay. Yeah, we have a holiday Thursday, so we're not here Thursday. Mhm. Okay. Sure. All right, sounds good. Thanks, bye.
That's your Microsoft. Can't get there.
He said he'll have them all loaded by Tuesday. It's just gonna, he said it's gonna take some time to do each one, is all he said, so.
Okay.
We're not in a hurry, we will have it loaded by Tuesday. What do you need printed off? Cause I can print anything you want.
Don't need it. You printed it, that one. I just wanted to have it. Cause then if I want a page printed, I can click just like the one and not waste a bunch. Okay. If we're not gonna visit probably with them, probably most of that probably better to wait till Jake's here. To that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
I think that's it. We got,
You're done. We'll adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. We're adjourned. Farewell.
Yay.
Lenny?